Binance is growing fast. So fast, in fact, that it can sometimes be hard to keep up with. Binance US, Binance Jersey, the Launchpad, Binance Labs, the list goes on. Hi there, my name is Guy and today I'm going to be looking at Binance JEX, the latest addition to the Binance stable. I'll also give you some top trading tips that you need to know. Binance JEX, or JEX from now on, is a crypto futures and options exchange that is owned and operated by the same people who run the Binance main exchange. JEX is legally registered as JEX Technology Co Limited, which is based in the Seychelles, a well-known offshore jurisdiction for a number of exchanges. Binance acquired JEX in September of 2019 in order to expand its crypto derivatives offering. This may be slightly confusing to you, especially given that Binance has its own Binance Futures platform. So why the need for both platforms? Well, Binance actually ran a competition which would allow users to test two different futures platforms. At the time, these were called Platform A and Platform B. After the conclusion of this competition, Binance decided to operate both of these futures platforms to give traders more choice. Of course, they're not the same, that would be pointless. Binance JEX appears to be a more comprehensive futures exchange. You have higher leverage, more assets, and you have those option instruments. We'll get onto those in a bit. Oh, and Binance JEX also has its own JEX token. This has been released to a number of users through airdrops. Oh, if you own BNB, you may want to take a look into your Binance wallets. JEX was airdropped there pretty recently by the Binance team. Anyways, enough with the pitter-patter. Let's dive right into our extensive Binance JEX review. Now, given that Binance JEX is part of the Binance ecosystem, it means that all of those traders who have a Binance account can log into the JEX exchange with their login credentials. You'll also be able to transfer your assets between wallets that are held on Binance to that of Binance JEX. Now, before any trader is to consider a new exchange, they should make sure that said exchange is safe. I'm talking account security, data protections, and most importantly, coin storage. Well, given that Binance JEX is a Binance asset, they'll no doubt be using the same security procedures as Binance. As you can see from the Binance JEX overview page, they implement cold storage as well as hot wallets with offline keys. They also operate what is called their insurance fund. This is a reserve fund that is funded with trading fees and will be protection against socialized losses. Essentially, those situations where all traders have to subsidize losing traders that are not liquidated in enough time. So all in all, it's safe to say that you're just as safe using Binance JEX as you are using Binance.com. Of course, when I say safe, I mean when it comes to security, not to trading risk. Binance JEX offers trading of a leverage up to 100 times, which is not really safe if you do not know what you're doing. So let's touch on this, shall we? Now, as mentioned, this is a futures and options exchange. When it comes to the futures, these are perpetual futures that do not have an expiry date. They're similar to the perpetual futures that you're used to on the likes of BitMEX, Bybit, and a few other exchanges. Oh, and a quick side note here. We've linked to our reviews of these exchanges in the description below if you want more info. So, like these other exchanges, Binance JEX offers leverage of up to 100 times. So in other words, you only have to put down 1% of the margin. If we were to compare this to the leverage at Binance Futures, the maximum leverage there is 20 times. In terms of asset coverage on the futures, you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and EOS. All of these futures markets offer leverage of up to the maximum of 100 times. Now, for those of you who have any experience with the likes of BitMEX and others, you will be too well aware of the infamous liquidation. This is what happens when your position has fallen far enough below the margin and the exchange will close it. Anyways, liquidation for a losing position is much more likely when you have a large amount of leverage. So if you're just starting, it's more prudent to trade with lower leverage. Okay, enough with the safety lectures. I'm not your mother. Something else that I really wanted to look at is the options contracts that they have at Binance JEX. Now, for the sake of brevity, I'm not going to go over the technicalities of crypto options and how to use them. We have an extensive post below for that. What is interesting is that by offering these products, Binance JEX has positioned themselves right up against the likes of more established Bitcoin options exchanges such as Deribit. Moreover, Binance JEX actually offers more assets that you can trade options on. Where both Deribit and Binance JEX offer Bitcoin and Ethereum options, Binance JEX also offers options for EOS, Litecoin and BNB. Having said that, you have pretty limited expiration times on the Binance JEX options. They are only monthly, which limits your customization for option premiums. Finally, even though this is a derivative exchange, you can also trade on the spot market. These include both Bitcoin and Tether trading pairs. This is something unique that we've not seen at other futures exchanges. Anyways, we'll come back to trading instruments in a bit, as I want to take a quick look into the fees on Binance JEX. Now, like most other exchanges, Binance JEX offers a maker-taker fee model. Generally, with this model, those traders who provide liquidity to the exchange will be charged a lower fee or even earn a rebate. Unfortunately, at least for now, it seems as if the maker and taker fees at Binance JEX are all the same. This is the case for both futures and options. You can see the fees here, which range from 0.10% to 0.20%. This is more than the fees that you'll be charged on many of the other exchanges. Now, having said all of that, there is a way to reduce those fees, and that is if you hold JEX tokens in your account. You'll get 50% off of those fees. It's actually exactly how Binance works with the BNB token. Anyways, when it comes to deposits and withdrawals, no fees at the exchange level, although you will have to pay a small network fee for withdrawing crypto assets. Oh, and while we're on deposits and withdrawals, I think that it's worth mentioning that there are no options for fiat deposits and withdrawals. So you'll need to use a fiat gateway exchange in order to first get your crypto. Moving on though, I want to take a look at one of the most important points about this exchange, and that is the trading technology. Like the main Binance exchange, there are two different platform options that you can select. They are the standard and the professional. The standard platform has most of what you'll need from a futures trading interface. Trade view charting, easy order functionality, intuitive navigation, and easy market selection. Then, switching over to the advanced trading interface, you get that dark theme that you've come to love. It's also pretty similar to the main exchange advanced UI, apart from a few quirks and features. Then, moving on to the option platform, it looks nearly exactly the same as the spot market. This is because you're buying an asset in the option instead of entering a leveraged futures position on the underlying asset. As you can see here, you have the options with the different expires on the left and their going prices. These contracts are only created for a month, so this is why the price history is rather limited. So, buying an option should be as straightforward as buying a coin, although they are completely different instruments. Now, I must admit, I'm no fan of mobile trading. You just can never replicate the same trading conditions that you have on desktop and web-based trading platforms. Having said that though, Binance JEX does offer mobile apps for you to trade on. These are available on both iOS and Android devices, and you can download them in these stores. I downloaded the app and had a look around. It seems pretty functional and is perhaps the best bet for those times that you'll be away from your PC. Now, are there any developers out there? Binance JEX also has API functionality that will allow you to develop your own trading algorithms and bots. You can head over to the official documentation that's in their GitHub repository. There is quite a bit of functionality here, although perhaps not as comprehensive as the API on the main exchange. So, this brings to a close my review of Binance JEX. But what do I really think of it? It seems like a great exchange that will give traders another option to trade altcoin futures as well as crypto options. I also like the fact that you can also just trade physical spot assets all on the same platform. Of course, I'm not too happy with those trading fees. Even if you make markets on the exchange, you'll have to pay the same fee as those who take it. And while it's true that you can reduce these fees by holding JEX tokens, it is still higher than some other futures exchanges even after applying the discount. In terms of the trading technology, they do seem to have advanced and intuitive trading technology. We found it relatively easy to navigate, yet functional enough to satisfy even the more advanced traders out there. I also really like the fact that they're running an insurance fund in order to protect their traders in case of large losses on poor risk management. Moreover, I would feel slightly more comfortable using a futures exchange that's being managed by Binance than some of the bucket shop operators that we've seen opening their doors. Binance has shown that not only do they have the adequate technical expertise to manage an exchange, but also the financial backing to backstop any systemic losses. So, all in all, well worth a try, but of course, manage your risk appropriately. Leverage trading is a double-edged sword. It can enhance your returns, but also chop you down to size. And that's it, fellow traders, my review of Binance JEX. But I'm curious, do any of you have an opinion on Binance JEX? Any questions for me? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you found this video helpful, please do hit up that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Much more will be on its way.